So, do you want more work or do you want less work? Do you want more mental space in which you can think clearly, or would you like less? Today's topic should help you out. I'm Mr. Fleming, and I'm just trying to help you be more successful with your grades and with your time. Just a quick refresher, Easy Notes stands for emphasize, abbreviate, spacing and organization, and in your own words. And this is meant to be the easy part of note-taking. Today we're going to focus on abbreviating, writing shorter words and fewer words as we take our notes. Why? Because this saves writing time. It saves mental space when we're studying, and we can therefore learn more effectively. Here's our example that we saw in our previous lesson on emphasis, and here are some of the notes that students took before. And when we look at this from the perspective of abbreviation, do we see evidence that these people have abbreviated in their notes? Not so much, maybe not at all. So what can we do? We can use common abbreviations. Take a look at this list. There are 20 common abbreviations. Look through them. I'm going to give you a minute. Count up how many of these you regularly use when you are taking notes. How did you do? These are common abbreviations that can be real time savers for you, and they take up less space on the page, which takes up less space in your brain as you are learning and studying. In addition to those common abbreviations, we can make up our own depending on what we're studying and the large words that show up in the notes. So if I'm working on social studies and I know the words government, economy, standard of living, and quality of life are going to show up a lot in this chapter, or I start to see them showing up in the current unit, I can make up my own abbreviations. And I can even make a little key for myself at the top of the page. Some tips while you are abbreviating: make up your own, but be consistent. Do not write incomplete sentences. All right, that's too much space on the page being taken up and too much of your time. Skip tiny words. Use math and science symbols as you go. Let's go back to some of those example notes that we saw before, right? They look pretty neat. They look pretty good. There's some emphasis being used, not much abbreviation, right? It says birth rate, the number of births each year for every 1,000 people. Not so bad. Death rate, total number of deaths each year for every 1,000 people. How might we abbreviate that more than is already done? What's the problem? Well, it takes time to write, it takes time to review and study, and visually it's long across the page, and our brains don't like that so well. How might we do it differently? I would do it like this. Birth rate, number of births each year per 1,000 people. And you can see how I spelled that. Death rate, number of deaths each year per 1,000 people. What I just did is I created some solutions for myself. Instead of writing 22 words, I wrote 14. Instead of using 106 characters, I used 62. This increases my mental space, which is better for my memory. Per page, if I do that, I'm saving about 50 words per page, going from 140 to 90, right? In terms of characters, the characters that I have to write on the page, I'm saving about 300 per page. Every 5 pages, I'm saving about 1.5 pages of notes. I'm saving about 250 words. I'm saving about 1,500 characters. And that's all good news for my mind, which is so busy trying to do so much and retain information. So that's the tip for today, guys. Abbreviate, and I think you're going to start seeing your notes and your studying go much better. Thank you. Take care.